Welcome back. In this video, we would like to talk about conversion of angles. As in our previous video, we have talked about angular displacement. And we said that angular displacement has units that can be expressed in radians, in revolutions, or in degrees. So at times we could be asked to convert from one unit of angular displacement to another unit of angular displacement. So I would not like you to stress yourself in trying to memorize the formulae that you can use for conversions, but I would like you to remember this relationship here. That is, one revolution is equal to 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. If you remember this, you will be able to do conversions of different angular displacements. We will now move on to solve problems. And the question that we have here is convert the following angles to radians. The first question is, we have 60 degrees. We want to convert it to radians. So how do we solve that? We know that the relationship between radians and degrees is that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, right? So for question A, if we say that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, then what is 60 degrees? We can say that is equal to x. So we can cross multiply, and if we cross multiply, we'll have x times 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians times 60 degrees. So to find x, we divide both sides by 360 degrees. So this will cancel this. X is equal to, we can say the degrees that we have here will cancel the degrees. 60 goes once into 360 is 6 times. So we now have 2 pi rad divided by 6, but 2 goes once into 6 is 3 times. So that is why our answer will be pi over 3 radians. Okay, so 60 degrees is equal to pi over 3 radians. When you are dealing with radians, it is important to leave pi in your answer, okay? Unless the question asks you to express your answer to the nearest degree or nearest whole number. So in that case, you can substitute the value of pi as 3.142 or 22 over 7 based on what you are given in the question. So as for me, I would like to leave my answer this way, leaving pi in my answer. So that is A. Moving on to B, we know that if we have 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, what is 75 degrees? We can say that is equal to x. So what do? We cross multiply. If we cross multiply, we're going to have x times 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians times 75 degrees. So to find x alone, we will divide both sides by 360 degrees. So this will cancel this. The degree has now cancelled the degree. 75 over 360. If you simplify that, you will have 5 all over 24. Okay? That is 15 goes into 75 is 5 times. 15 goes into 360 is 24 times. So for 2 and 24, we can simplify that. 2 goes once into 24 is 12 times. So what are we left with as our answer? We're going to have 1 times 5 is 5. So that will be 5 all over 12 pi radians. Okay, remember pi. So pi is a numerator here, so maintain that. Okay, 5 pi over 12 radians. So that is our answer. The next question is 45 degrees. See, again, we've said that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. So what is 45 degrees? That will be x. If we cross multiply, we're going to have x times 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians times 45 degrees. So to find x, we divide both sides by 360 degrees. This will cancel this. So degrees will cancel degrees. 45 divided by 360. If we simplify that, we will have 1 over 8, because 45 into itself is 1 times, into 360 is 8 times. Okay, so for 2 and 8 here, we can say 2 goes into itself once, into 8 is 4 times. So if we should give the final answer, x will be pi over 4 radians. D is 90 degrees. The same thing, if we have 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, what is 90 degrees? Let's say that is equal to x. Then we cross multiply. So that will be x times 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians multiplied by 90 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360. So this will cancel this. The degree is cancelling the degree. 90 divided by 360 is 1 over 4, right? Because 90 goes once, into 360 is 4 times. So we can simplify 2 and 4 here. 2 goes once, into 4 is 2 times. So what are we going to have? We're going to have x is equal to pi over 2 radians. Okay. E is 225. If we have 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, then 225 degrees is equal to x. So we cross multiply. That will be x times 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians multiplied by 225 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360. So this will cancel this. So this degree will cancel this degree. 225 over 360. If 45 goes here, it will be 5 times. If 45 goes into 360, that will be 8 times. So that is why 225 divided by 360, you will have 5 over 8. Okay, you can use your calculator directly to give you that. And if you press the AB divided by C key on your calculator, it can express the answer for you in fractions. So 2 and 8, how do we simplify that? 2 goes once, into 8 is 4 times. So what are we going to have? We will have x is equal to 1 times 5 is 5. So that will be 5 pi all over 4 radians. So that is how you convert degrees to radians. Moving on, it says convert the following angles to degrees. So the angles are given in radians and we want to convert to degrees. Still, if we remember that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, we can still do this conversion. So for question A, if 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, what is pi over 3 radians in terms of degrees? We can say that is x. Then when we cross multiply, what do we have? We will have x times 2 pi radians is equal to pi over 3 radians times 360 degrees. So to find only x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. So this will cancel this. Now what do we have here? Radians will cancel radians. Pi will cancel pi. Okay? So it means we can say 3 goes once into 360. That will be 120 times. So we're going to have 120 divided by 2. So that is 2 goes once into 120 is 60. So we're going to have x is equal to 60 degrees. Okay? So pi over 3 radians is equal to 60 degrees. Okay? Question B is pi radians. B, if 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, then what is pi radian? That will be equal to x. So we have to cross multiply. And when we cross multiply, we're going to have x times 2 pi radians is equal to pi rad times 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. So 2 pi radians cancels 2 pi radians. Pi will cancel pi. Radian will cancel radian. So we are left with 360 degrees divided by 2. So 2 goes once into 360. That will give you 180. So it means the answer is going to be 180 degrees. Okay? So x is equal to 180 degrees, meaning that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Moving on to question C, 3 pi over 2 radians. C, if 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, so what is 3 pi over 2 radians? 3 pi over 2 radians, that will be equal to x. Now we cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, we'll have x times 2 pi radians is equal to 3 pi over 2 radians multiplied by 360 degrees. So we can divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. So 2 pi radians cancels 2 pi radians. What do we do? Pi will cancel pi. Radians will cancel radians. And we can say 2 goes once into 360. That is 180. So we're going to have 3 times 180 divided by 2 if we like. So let's say x is equal to 3 times 180 degrees divided by 2. So x will be 3 times 180 is 540 degrees divided by 2. So x will be 540 divided by 2 is 270 degrees, meaning that 3 pi over 2 radians is equal to 270 degrees. Moving on to question D is 7 pi over 2 radians. 7 pi over 2 radians. D, we know that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. So 7 pi over 2 radians, that is supposed to be equal to x. Now we cross multiply, and if we cross multiply, we will have x times 2 pi radians, that is equal to 7 pi over 2 radians times 360 degrees. So we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. So 2 pi radians cancels 2 pi radians. X will be equal to pi cancels pi, radians cancels radians. So we can say 2 goes once into 360. That will be 180. So what are we left with? We can say 7 times 180 degrees divided by 2. So that will be x is equal to 7 times 180 is 1260 degrees divided by 2. So what is that? That is going to be 630 degrees, right? Yeah. E is 3 pi over 4 radians. 3 pi over 4 radians. E, if 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, so 3 pi over 4 radians, that is going to give us x. We can cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, we'll have x times 2 pi radians is equal to 3 pi over 4 radians multiplied by 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. So 2 pi radians cancels 2 pi radians. Pi will cancel pi. Radians will cancel radians. We can say 4 goes once into 360 is 90 times. Okay, so it means x is equal to 3 times 90 degrees divided by 2. So what is that? 3 times 90 is 270 degrees divided by 2. So you will have 135 degrees as your answer. So that is it. F is 1 radian. We want to know what is 1 radian. F, if 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians, so what is 1 radian? Let's say that is equal to x, then we cross multiply, and if we do that, we'll have x times 2 pi radians. This is equal to 1 radian times 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. So this will cancel this. Radian cancels radian. So what are we going to have? We will have x is equal to 360 degrees divided by 2 pi. Okay, so x will be equal to 2 goes once into 360, that is 180. So meaning we'll have x is equal to 180 degrees divided by pi. And if we should substitute the value of pi as, let's say, 3.142, so x will be approximately 57.3 degrees. Okay, so that is the value of 1 radian. 1 radian is equal to 57.3 degrees. So moving on, it says convert the following to radians. We have the angular displacement in revolutions, and we want to convert to radians. So for question A, that is simple. It says 1 revolution, we know that is equal to 2 pi radians. Okay, and that is a standard you should always remember. So moving on to B, it says 1/4 revolution. I know that if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, so what is 1/4 revolution? That will be equal to x. So if we cross multiply, we will have x times 1 revolution is equal to 1/4 revolution times 2 pi radians. Okay, so to find x, I will divide both sides by 1 revolution. So revolution cancels revolution. Here we also have the same thing. So what are we going to have? X will be equal to 2 goes once into 4 is 2 times. So we will have pi over 2 radians. Okay, pi over 2 radians. So that will be our answer, because if you divide that by 1, it's the same thing. Okay, C, we have 1/12 revolution. So again, if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, what is 1/12 of a revolution? That will be equal to x. If we cross multiply, we will have x times 1 revolution is equal to 1/12 revolution times 2 pi radians. So to find x, we divide both sides by 1 revolution. So this will cancel this. Revolutions cancels revolution. So what are we going to have? We can say 2 goes once into 12 is 6 times. So our answer will be x is equal to pi over 6 radians. All right. Moving on to D is 6 revolution. D, if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, what is 6 revolutions? That will be equal to x. We cross multiply. X times 1 revolution is equal to 6 revolution multiplied by 2 pi radians. So we're going to divide both sides by 1 revolution. This will cancel this. Revolutions cancels revolutions. So what are we going to have? X will be equal to 6 times 2, that will be 12. So that will be 12 pi radians. Okay, and finally E is 3/4 revolutions. So if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, 3/4 revolution should be equal to x. Now we cross multiply. We will have x times 1 revolution is equal to 3/4 revolution multiplied by 2 pi radians. So we divide both sides by 1 revolution to find x. 1 revolution. This will cancel this. Revolutions cancels revolutions. So what do you have? We can say 2 goes once into 4 is 2 times. So our answer, x, will be equal to 3 times 1 is 3. So that will be 3/2 pi radians. Okay. Okay. Moving on, the question reads, convert the following to degrees. So we are given the angular displacements in revolutions and we have to convert to degrees. The first question, A, is simple. We know that 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees. Moving on to question B. If 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, then 1/4 revolution should give us x. Let's cross multiply. And if we cross multiply, we will have x times 1 revolution is equal to 1/4 revolution times 360 degrees. So to find x, I will divide both sides by 1 revolution. 1 revolution. So this will cancel this. Revolution will cancel revolution. Then we are left with degrees. So 4 goes once into 360. That will be 90. So which means x is equal to 90 degrees. Moving on to question C, it says 1/12 revolution. We know that if 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, 1/12 revolution should give us x. Then we cross multiply. That is x times 1 revolution is equal to 1/12 revolution times 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 1 revolution. 1 revolution. So this will cancel this. Revolution cancels revolution. Now the answer is going to be in degrees. 12 goes once into 360 is 30. So x is equal to 30 degrees. To question D is 6 revolution. If 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, then 6 revolutions should give us x. Now we can cross multiply. So we will have x times 1 revolution is equal to 6 revolutions times 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 1 revolution. 1 revolution. So this will cancel this. Revolutions cancels revolution. So x becomes 6 times 360, which is 2160 degrees. Question E is 3/4 revolution. Again, if 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, so 3/4 revolutions should be x. Now let's cross multiply. So cross multiplying, we'll have x times 1 revolution is equal to 3 over 4 revolutions times 360 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 1 revolution. So this will cancel this. Revolutions cancels revolutions. 4 goes once into 360, that is 90. So we're going to have x is equal to 3 times 90 degrees, and therefore x is equal to 270 degrees. Moving on, we are going to convert these angles from radians to revolutions. So for question A, we know that 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, which is the same as 2 pi radians, right? So which means we can say 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radian. For question B, again using 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, then x revolution should be equal to 2 pi over 3 radians. Now what we're going to do is we will cross multiply, and if we do that, we'll have x times 2 pi radians is equal to 1 revolution times 2 pi over 3 radians. So we will divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians cancels 2 pi radians. Radian here cancels radian here. Pi cancels pi. So what are we left with? We'll have x is equal to 1 times 2 is 2 divided by 3. So that will be 2 over 3 revolutions divided by 2. So how do we solve that? X is equal to 2 over 3 rev divided by 2. We can write it this way. So which means x will be equal to 2 over 3 rev times 1 over 2. So if that is the case, this will cancel this. So therefore x is equal to 1 over 3 rev, right? That is the answer for question B. So question C is pi over 6 radians. Again, we know that 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians. So pi over 6 radians, that is supposed to be equal to x. If we cross multiply, we will have x times 2 pi radians is equal to 1 revolution times pi over 6 radians. So we can divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. So this will cancel this. Pi cancels pi. Radian cancels radians. So what are we going to have? We're going to have 1 over 6 revolution divided by 2. Okay, so that is x. So therefore x is equal to 1 over 6 rev divided by 2, if this is the way you understand it. So x is equal to 1 over 6 rev times 1 over 2. So that is to say x is equal to 1 all over 12 revolutions. Okay, that is C. So D is pi rad. D, if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, so what is pi rad in terms of revolution. So that will be x. Now we cross multiply, and what will we have? That is x times 2 pi radians is equal to 1 revolution times pi rad. So to find x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. So this will cancel this. Pi cancels pi, radian cancels radian. So what are we going to have? X will be equal to 1 over 2 revolution, or half revolution. Okay? And E is pi over 2 radians. E, if 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians, so what is pi over 2 radians? That is equal to x. We cross multiply. That will be x times 2 pi radians is equal to 1 revolution times pi over 2 radians. So to find x, we divide both sides by 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians. This will cancel this. Pi cancels pi, radian cancels radian. So what are we going to have? X is equal to 1 revolution over 2 divided by 2. So that is the same as x is equal to 1 revolution over 2 divided by 2. So x is equal to 1 revolution over 2 times 1 over 2. So x will be equal to 1 over 4 revolutions. Okay? Yeah. So that is what pi over 2 is. Moving on, it asks us to convert the angular displacement from degrees to revolutions. So for question A, we know that 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees. So 270 degrees will be equal to x. Now we cross multiply. So that will be x times 360 degrees is equal to 1 revolution times 270 degrees. So to find x, we divide both sides by 360 degrees. This will cancel this. Degrees is cancelling degrees. So what are we left with? 270 over 360. That will be 3 over 4. Okay? Because 90 into 270 is 3 times. 90 into 360 is 4 times. So the final answer, x, will be 3 over 4 revolutions. Okay, that is what 270 degrees is. B, if we use 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees. So what is 135 degrees? Let that be equal to x. Then we cross multiply. And if we do that, we'll have x times 360 degrees is equal to 1 revolution times 135 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360. So this will cancel this. Degrees cancels degrees. If we have 135 over 360, that is going to be 3 over 8. Okay? That is going to be 3 over 8. Because 45 into 135 is 3 times. 45 into 360 is 8 times. So therefore x will be 3 over 8 revolutions. Okay? C is 3,240. If 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees. So 3240 degrees, that should be x. Now we cross multiply. X times 360 degrees is equal to 1 revolution times 3240 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360. So 360 degrees cancels 360 degrees. Degrees here cancels degrees here. 3240 divided by 360. That's 9 times. That is 360 goes once into here is 9 times. So x will be equal to 9 revolutions. Okay. Moving on to D is 1296 degrees. D, if 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, 1296 degrees, that is going to be equal to x. So we cross multiply. That is x times 360 degrees is equal to 1 revolution times 1296 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360 degrees. So that is 360 degrees cancels 360 degrees. Degrees here cancels degrees here. 1296 divided by 360 is 3.6. So it means 360 goes once into here is 3.6. So which means we will have x is equal to 3.6 revolutions. Okay. E is 60 degrees. E. So if 1 revolution is equal to 360 degrees, what is 60 degrees in terms of revolution? Let's say that is x. We cross multiply. So x times 360 degrees is equal to 1 revolution times 60 degrees. To find x, we divide both sides by 360 degrees. This will cancel this. Degrees cancels degrees. 60 goes once into 360. That is 6 times. So the answer that we'll have is x is equal to 1/6 revolution. Okay. That is the conversion for angular displacement. Okay. Remember that angular displacement can be expressed in degrees, in revolutions, or in radians. In our next video, we will deal with conversion of angular velocity. Then after that, we will start solving problems and solutions under circular motion. Thank you very much for watching this video. If this is the first time of visiting this channel, please subscribe to the channel, like and share our videos.